Hello, my brothers and sisters from another mother. So it is Friday around lunchtime. Finally taking my car out for a spin. This time I talk about exhaust. So if you see my previous videos, this has a Klein exhaust, Inconel. Previously I've had sole headers, sole over axle pipe, and no cap back. This time around it's Klein and stock headers. So I'll do some comparison if I can find some old videos. Do some comparison of the different exhausts that I had compared to this one. And I'm going to try to balance outside noise to inside if I can. So I got my microphone like at the bottom of the seat belt, so that all the baffling from the wind won't affect it, or hopefully won't affect it, but you can still hear me. I'm just going to play around with it, see how it sounds. Alright, so this is going to be a short video because it's just exhaust, but I want to talk about the difference between the two. The camera's not going to pick up everything, but so when I had the sole header, it did have a 200 cell catalytic converter, over axle pipe, stock catback. It had a more of a throatier, deeper tone to it, but you do get that flat six wail about after 6,000 RPM, whereas with this Klein catback only and stock headers, it starts to happen after 4,000 RPM. And I will say that I do have the valve open most of the time. So I have the sole valve controller that opens the stock valve completely open, because the stock valve programming partially opens and closes at certain RPMs. So I think it's definitely a must to have that bypass, even with a completely stock exhaust setup. As far as the power difference, I do feel it. I felt a little bit more with the headers and the over axle pipe that I had, but I mean, it's kind of negligible. I will say that stock versus completely stock versus Klein and completely stock versus headers and over axle pipe, I did notice a difference. And I think the dyno was something like 25 to 30 horsepower. So, you know, you're gonna feel that especially on a light car like this. I am sensitive to differences in cars because I bought cars pretty much all my life, been a car enthusiast all my life. I used to build race engines, race, quarter-mile strips. So I pay more attention to every mod I do and see if it makes a difference. So I guess I am somewhat calibrated in that sense. So anyway, that's the setup of the exhaust. Like I said, in terms of the noise, if you look at it, I could just go to 4,000 and it'll sound good. And may have to do with the fact that it's also Inconel, so you got that thinner sidewall, and that may make a difference. Maybe give it more high pitched. So this exhaust setup for sure has a noticeably difference in the pitch versus just the headers and stock catback. Do a little sound check here. Should have turned off the traction control when I shifted the second. It kind of bogged down a little bit. Usually does that when I have the traction control on because of the wheel slip, obviously. So yeah, I would highly recommend if you have one of these cars with the 4.0 liter to at least consider the Inconel. The steel version, I've heard it before. It sounds better than my old setup, but I can notice that the Inconel has a little bit higher pitch. But if you want to save some money, don't care about the weight or the sound all that much, then steel Clyde exhaust is fine. So anyway, that wraps up my video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Just want to do a short take on exhaust comparisons, and hopefully you're able to kind of hear the difference. All right guys, happy Friday, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.